Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Iran deal includes I think it's a $300 billion fund with everything getting finalized with Iran and U.S. on all agreements of the opening of the strait, the nuclear weapons, all that stuff. So, and there's always more and more details coming out here. So this is just a headline here. Commitments exceed 150 billion across 5 regions, sources say. The investment fund vehicle contains no government money. New fund is separate from frozen assets, and the fund will only become operational after the final U.S.-Iran deal is signed. More in the news, U.S. Mexican officials to discuss agriculture, energy as Trump casts doubt on trade deal, and he's been doing this. So, and again, is it going to be a taco trade, or is he just going to just negotiate another deal? Even though he's the one that negotiated back in 6 years ago. So we'll have to see here. India's rice stocks climbed to record high, wheat inventories at 5-year peak. Now, if the El Nino actually has a big effect, I'm going to say that they may not release any of these stocks, but it doesn't say that here. But that's just my opinion. And I highlighted in recent years, India has held huge rice stocks while facing tight wheat supplies. But this year, the country has abundant inventories, both grains and Mumbai dealer said so. So they could be released, but it might be released on higher prices of wheat. Soybeans rise for third session on Chinese buying, and there's day after day here that China's been looking around, but it's unknown what what that news is. Are they booking freight? If so, that's probably a little bit more concrete, which it would be a good thing for sure for the U.S. soybean and the soybean growers. G7 leaders welcome Trump Iran deal, turn focus on Chinese mineral chokehold, because that's the next thing that U.S. is concerned about. Late June pattern looks wet here, and I'm just going to show you how this is not always the fact here either, because you show one weather model, and we'll see how they don't always compare here in a minute. Lots of weather and issues going across the U.S. here. You can see National Weather Service has lots of different hazards going on, flood watches, the wind advisories, you name it. Here's the just active weather. And here we're looking at the 7-day forecast of all the different weather models, and you can see that some are pointing a lot more moisture. And maybe a little bit less depending on which model you're looking at, but they all are showing Saskatchewan and Alberta getting some moisture, and in central U.S. And it's not all that welcome, all that rain either. So some of it is. Here's the 2-week, and you can see it's showing that. Depending on which model, the European ensemble doesn't show near the amount of moisture as you see the GFS or the European artificial intelligent model as well. So just know that the 2-week forecast is not that accurate, obviously. Canola is up here this morning. November canola is trading 757.40, up 350. Soybean oil is down at 72.84. Palm oil is up. West Texas is up slightly, but it had a pretty strong down day yesterday, so 76.60. And there's been some talk about the huge difference between the futures market and the cash that's actually getting paid, and that difference is it's always been, but depending on where that locale is of what that cash price is, and it's showing up in just about all commodities lately. But and this is Harvey's suspicion, so it could be wrong, that the market needs to squeeze out some of those long positions. And because the funds are in there fairly strong, the futures market is trying to do it in the futures market, and yet the cash market is still showing all like a lot different price with a quite high basis. A lot of localities are paying upwards of $100 a barrel yet to get product. So big difference between these West Texas and Brent. The wheat market is up. In all instances, corn is up as well. Canadian dollar is slightly down. Let's just have a quick look here. Your November canola it's at a pivot point and traded below it, but now it's trying to trade right at it, and the short-term moving average is right there too. So it's trading right at that, and it's caught in this kind of a zone here at the moment. We'll see if it can break out of there. Either way, out welcome either way. I think here, European rapeseed is actually trade down, and it's at the pivot point there as well. Soybean oil, it's not trading the same as the canola. It's maybe broke a little wee bit of its tie there, but you can see that it's right at that point of if it breaks lower, then it's going to take some of these other oilseed markets with it. Soybean futures, it's been positive for the last 3 days, so the crush margins are getting squeezed a little wee bit, but you're talking upwards of $3.50 to $4 crush margins. So it's not a real big squeeze, I can tell you that. And there's lots of profit getting made there. Palm oil still below this line here, so we'll see if it's going to continue to trade there. Like crude oil, like I said, it's just onward pressure, and it's going towards that 200-day moving average, and it's yet to fill this gap down here. There's the expectation that there could be, when they actually sit down, Iran and U.S., that there could be even a little bit more discussions here for the market to go down. Your diesel fuel futures on that slide going down as well. Little ways yet to fill that gap as well. And gasoline is a lot farther. What I just want to point out here is just you can see above the line here, this is the summer season when the gasoline is usually higher. And again, it shows an extreme height with this year's kind of pricing, but not all years. You can see 2021 actually kind of went flat, but most years the markets do trade lower once you get past the summer driving season. Canadian dollar, it's still trading below the short-term moving average. Still looking at whether it's going to get to that area or not. Copper futures is high, so is your NASDAQ and your S&P, trying to break out to make new highs here. Still haven't yet. Wheat, Minneapolis wheat, this is September. It's below the short-term moving average, and then you got your 200-day moving average here as well. So it's not showing the same kind of positivity as you're seeing in the Kansas and your Chicago. Both of those are seeing multiple days of positive markets. European rapeseed, positive yesterday, but still at the bottom end of that trend. Your corn futures, I guess Chicago's taking light or following the corn futures from the bottom that it was made last week.